Okay, good morning. This morning we'll be having a counselling session with Katie, who has presented herself with some sort of anxiety that she's experiencing that seems to be getting a little bit extreme, and she's made an approach for see if we can provide some assistance. So she's going to be joining us now. Katie, are you there?
Yes, hello. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. So, Katie, you're experiencing, I don't know, a degree of anxiety.
Yeah, I've been really anxious lately.
Yeah. Would you like to elaborate on that for me?
Well, I'm not sleeping very well, and I just generally feel a little bit anxious about like my normal everyday life.
Right. Okay. So, are there particular instances where you felt, anxious, and how have you found it manifesting itself?
Well, I think working from home, I get anxious when I wake up in the morning, and at nighttime I'm having trouble sleeping because I'm not in my normal routine.
Okay. Yeah. Well, lack of sleep can always lead to degrees of anxiety, especially if you have, tasks you need to perform and everything like that. I've sort of experienced a lack of sleep myself at times, but so what sort of day-to-day effect is this having on you?
Well, I'm tired, so I'm not functioning as well at work, and I guess I'm not myself in general. How I talk to people and my normal activities I'm finding a little bit harder to do.
Yeah. So what are some of the normal activities that you're finding difficult, and why are you finding it difficult?
Well, like usually if I go to do my groceries at a certain time or have lunch at a certain time, I'm just getting really anxious about like the time coming up and organizing myself working from home. And so it's just making me feel really anxious.
Okay, and this anxiousness that you experience, it's obviously keeping you awake at night, is it?
Yeah, I'm not able to sleep, like fall asleep like normal.
Okay, can you think of a cause of this anxiety? Like, how long have you had it for, and do you think
Probably
there was something that brought it on?
Probably just since the coronavirus started, working at home, changing my routine.
Okay, and how are you finding you're functioning, trying to do your work?
Not very well because I'm tired.
Yeah. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Well, I'm tired, so I can't focus because I'm thinking about when it's time to eat. And then I'm not hungry when it's time to eat. So I then start thinking about all the things I have to get done in the day. And then it gets to like 3:00 in the afternoon and I haven't done anything.
Okay. Has there been times in the past where you've experienced this?
Not really.
Not really. Have you found, is there anything that helps you with this?
I guess the difference is when I was working, everyone's going to lunch sort of around the same time, like around 12 and 1. And at home, because you're not with all your co-workers, you just keep working through. So I guess the routine helps.
Okay. It's important to have routines, especially with work. I myself try and stick to routines as well, find it pretty helpful. So how long have you been working from home?
Since April.
It's pretty tough to get used to. Obviously, I myself, I've had to be working from home as well. We can't sort of do face-to-face and things like that, so I can sort of empathise a little bit with what you're experiencing. But it seems like it's having a fairly drastic effect. Are you finding it sort of having any impact on your health as well, just your health and general well-being?
I've lost a little bit of weight because I'm not sleeping and eating properly.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking it probably might be a bad idea maybe if you sort of maybe pop in to see your local GP at some stage. He may be able to give you some further assistance with your sleeping issue. He may be in a position to prescribe some medication or something along those lines. It's not my field of expertise, but yeah, I think, referring you off to your local GP is probably going to be key to maybe address the sleeping issue initially. But I think we can probably try and look to develop some solutions for you where we can focus on trying to implement some strategies that will help you cope a little bit better with this anxiety. We can set out some goals and everything like that. So have you found anything in the past like that has specifically relieved your anxiety? Whether it be going for a walk or something like that, or calling a friend or something along those lines? Anything specific you can think of?
Yeah, probably if I walk away from my work computer and go have a cup of tea.
Yeah,
I used to do that a lot in the office.
Yeah. Okay, so that seems to help a fair bit, does it?
Yeah, it does, but I haven't really been doing it. I didn't think about it until now.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm sort of thinking like with just some simple. Okay, do you do any exercise at all, like physical exercise or anything like that?
Not really, but we are allocated breaks to go and exercise.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's probably something we can look at. Like, try and, as you say, it's difficult to maintain routine, as you mentioned. Not going to lunch with your colleagues and everything like that. So it may be a matter of just trying to initiate some routines into your working from home, such as maybe taking a little exercise break, even if it's just to go for a walk around your yard or something like that at times.
Yeah.
That would probably help a fair bit. If, I wanted to ask you a question, and like we like to call it the miracle question, and that would be, how would you know if you were on the other side of this anxiety? What would you notice within yourself to know that this part of your life where you're feeling this anxiety has passed? How would you know that would be over? What would
I guess I'd be sleeping. I'd be able to go to sleep really easily.
Yeah. So the sleeping seems to be having quite a fairly big impact on your anxiety.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Okay. It's hard for anyone to sort of perform well when your body's tired, your mind's tired, you're feeling emotionally, sort of exhausted. So it's probably key. It's probably going to be one of the initial factors that needs to be addressed. As I say, I think maybe referring you off to your local GP is probably going to be a stepping stone towards helping you through this. So I think we might sort of see what we can do along those lines. And any other sort of feelings that you're experiencing that you'd like to touch on briefly?
No, it was really just the anxiousness that I'm getting from the change.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I think, we just need to sort of try and point you on the right path, get you some rest, and maybe set some specific goals for you to achieve on a day-to-day basis, which I think will help you no end. I think that's probably going to be the best process for you at this stage. I'm thinking at this stage it's probably going to be good to have a chat again maybe in a week or so.
Okay.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, that would be good. Thank you.
Okay. You think that'll be okay for you? Like you can wait a week to sort of so we can process a little bit further for you. And in the meantime, hopefully get you off to see your GP
and then
get you some rest. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, we'll leave it for that at this stage, Katie. Thanks for your time, and
Thank
talk
you.
to you again very soon. Okay, thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Okay, so that was young Katie, who is experiencing a fair bit of anxiety and everything at the moment, which has obviously been quite detrimental to her. I think a lack of sleep is probably one of the major components that's leading towards her anxiety. And I think that's obviously going to need referral off to a GP. You know, he may be able to provide some assistance in helping her getting back towards a regular sleeping pattern. I think a solutions-based approach here is what's going to be best for Katie. We can clearly map out some goals and for her to sort of assist in relief of her anxiety. She seemed to indicate that she's sort of having an issue missing her colleagues that sort of provide some stability for her in the work environment. So without that around, she's sort of getting quite anxious by all appearances. So I would have liked to try and get a bit more information out of her. I think that she's probably experiencing a little bit more than what she actually expressed to me. I'd like to think if there were future sessions, we'd be able to draw out some more information from her. But yeah. So overall, I think it went pretty well. As I say, apart from the fact that I think she was holding back a little bit. Okay, thank you.